Hi you guys and welcome to my channel. It is Jogo Royalty. Today we are going to do part 2 of our makeup brushes, and by the way you guys, this is going to be entirely focusing on the face brushes, the brushes that you need for your face. It may not be many, but I have kinds and variety of brushes I'm going to show you and where to use and how to use them. If you're interested and if you're ready, let's go right ahead to this makeup tutorial. And you guys, welcome back again, and this is Jogo Royalty, and today we are going to continue with our part 2 of makeup brushes for beginners, or makeup brushes that you can use to apply onto your face. While we may recap on the eyeshadow brushes, even though that is not entirely guaranteed, but let me continue and go ahead and prime my eyelids, because I always start with the eyes, which is what I recommend for most of us. But if you know that you are one person that likes to do things your way, you are not going to spill things around, you're not going to spill your eyeshadows. Your eyeshadows don't always have a lot of fall-offs. You can go ahead and apply your complexion products first, and then you can apply your eyeshadow. The concealer that I have applied to prime my eyelids, it is L'Oreal Paris Infallible, and the shade is Honey. This is my all-time favorite concealer. I used to use the Essence concealer. I think the reason why I left Essence concealer, it was giving me burning sensation and I felt like it was going to damage my skin, so I decided to discontinue. The very first face brush that I'm going to show you that I use on my facial products, even though I forgot to blend with it because I think I put my brushes a little bit far from me, which is not a good idea. Royalty. I normally like to brighten my eyelids, even though I'm not going to brighten a lot. It's just going to be for demonstration of the brushes that I'm having, that I'm going to use as my concealer brush. This type of brush, you guys, is a little big for application of your eyeshadows. That way I find it easy to blend my concealer, and I'm going to blend this lighter concealer. It is a nice, beautiful concealer brush. You know, I've always been excited using Maybelline eyeshadow palettes, but today I am elated that I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palette, Modern Renaissance eyeshadow palette. And by the way you guys, I'm not going to use it showing you, because the brightness of the cover is going to suck off the light from my face. I'm going to just use this palette as a mirror, nothing new there. I might use this duo brush from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I think if I call it ABH, it becomes much easier than if I say Anastasia Beverly Hills. Yeah, it's just a long word. So you guys, as you know, the very basic thing for you to do when you're going to apply your eyeshadows is to ensure that your eyelids are not creasing, and I'm going to blend my concealer just to ensure that my eyelids are not creasing. I'm going to apply Rose Sienna as my transitioning shade, even though I think I'm using a wrong brush for this. Okay you guys, I'm going to take this Essence Eye Blender brush. I'm going to apply the Rose Sienna. Just going to use it as my transitioning shade, and I'm just going to do the same this side. And normally when I apply my transitioning shade, you guys, if I don't want to have a lot of pigment, I always use my crease brush, which is the most fluffier brushes that I have. Those are the ones that I normally use. And you guys, as you can see, Rose Sienna doesn't look like it has a color different to what we have on top of my eyes, which I think is a good thing. It can work as a transitioning shade, and even if you're not going to apply your eyeshadows, you want to look like you did not apply eyeshadows, Rose Sienna can be a very beautiful eyeshadow for you. And then you guys, the second eyeshadow I'm going to apply, it is the eyeshadow Burnt Orange. Just going to place on my crease area, just on top of Rose Sienna. Just going to try and build it using ABH brush, and I'm using the side wing, which is a little bit fluffy, but not too fluffy though. Just going to keep applying. This is a very nice mustard color, if one can say the color name, not the eyeshadow name. It looks more mustard and it's pretty. I'm going to use the eyeshadow Realga. Just going to apply a little bit of Realga, and I'm just going to apply right into my crease. Not going to apply with a very full force, not going to press it hard against my lid. Just going to apply a little tiny bit with a very light hand there. Not going to apply a lot of this. With a circular motion, I'm going to keep blending this eyeshadow together with my other matte eyeshadows. And I'm going to take the Precision Eye Color Brush. It is from Scarlet Hill. It's a Mr. Price brand. I'm going to go to the eyeshadow Cypress Amber, and I'm going to stamp Cypress Amber right on my outer corner, on my outer V. Just going to stamp it and slightly try to diffuse and blend to my other eyeshadow on my crease area. And I'm going to take this eyeshadow a little on top of my crease. And I'm going to do the same this side, build the eyeshadow by just tapping and start to blend, to transition every other eyeshadow that I had towards my outer V. And I'm going to take this eyeshadow a little on top of my crease, and I'm not going to take it too far. And by the way, you guys, I normally use this brush to apply my matte eyeshadows, and I'm going to go ahead and apply Love Letter. And I'm just going to stamp Love Letter right next to Empress Amber. Just going to place and stamp it there. Going to apply and do the same in this side, just to stamp the eyeshadow and really increase the pigment. I always encourage people that are watching my videos never to really worry about the eyeshadow palette per se, but check the colors that I'm using. Use it with each and every eyeshadow that you may have, or mix colors to achieve a certain type of eyeshadow color if you don't have a certain eyeshadow. And you guys, I'm going to take a slightly flat brush. It is from Yardley. Just going to tap into the eyeshadow Primavera, or Primavera, whatever we can call the eyeshadow color. And I'm just going to place this eyeshadow right towards the inner corner. And I think I like the pigment of this. It is out of this world. And I'm just going to take it from the inner corner, just going to blend with my other eyeshadows. And I'm going to try and diffuse Primavera. You guys always strive to diffuse the hash line between your eyeshadows, and this is how I normally diffuse the hash line between my eyeshadows. I just make a light sweeping motion on top of my eyeshadows, depending on how much color that I would like to keep. And right now I'm using the eyeshadow brush I was using for Love Letter, just to ensure that I don't lose the Love Letter. As a transition, I shouldn't be losing Love Letter. And then you guys, because I say you can always mix your colors, I'm going to mix the eyeshadow Tempera as well as the Primavera a little bit, and I'm just going to highlight my inner corner with the two eyeshadow. I'm going to show you guys if you can see the highlight that the two eyeshadows together did to this eye. And by the way, you guys, I'm going to continue and apply my liquid eyeliner, and the one that I always apply, it is Essence liquid eyeliner. Nowadays I'm incorporating the brown eyeliner, but today we're going for the black one. And you guys, I'm not going to make a wing, and I'm not going to take my eyeliner into my inner corner. I'm just going to take it closer to the inner corner, but not put it straight on my inner corner. And then you guys, I'm going to go ahead and apply my eyelashes. These eyelashes, they are from Kiss, and their style is sultry. They normally comes in 2 pairs of eyelashes. Alright you guys, I'm going to go ahead and apply mascara. The mascara that I'm using is from Essence, the Lash Princess mascara, and it is a volume waterproof mascara. And then you guys, simply because my eyelash glue dries a bit quicker, I'm going to take my eyelashes and just place them on top of my eyelashes. And I'm going to clip them to my natural lashes. And then I'm going to do the same on the other eye. Place the lash on my lash line and then take it to my inner corner, and then I'm going to place it to the outer corner. Normally I do this if my eyelashes are too dry, and I can see that not placing it to my inner corner is going to make them to lift, because they normally lift up if they are too dry. But I place the inner corner much quicker than the outer corner. You guys, that is our eyes. Alright you guys, I'm going to go ahead and apply my primer, and for the primer I'm using Yardley Illuminating Primer. The brand says this primer, they say it reduces the appearance of the fine lines, and it is hydrating, as well as they say it extends your foundation away. Alright you guys, let me start with the business of the day. And by the way you guys, I have 2 brushes. These 2 brushes, they are foundation brushes. I think many times ago when people were starting to apply makeup with brushes, they were using this to apply their foundation. And anyway, I see other people also using this type of brushes to apply their primer. I don't find this to be the best tool to really blend your foundation all over your face. And for foundation, I'm going to use L'Oreal Paris Infallible, and the shade is Copper. And I'm just going to take one of the brushes. This one is from Urban Studio, but I don't think the brand really matters. I don't really think you should put a lot of emphasis to the brand. This is how you place and apply your foundation with this brush, which is something that I don't always do. And then you guys, we have foundation blending brush or stippling brush. These 2 brushes are very flat, and this one brand, the foundation brush, it is not as flat but both of these can blend your foundation beautifully and seamlessly. I'm going to go ahead and blend on the other side using this stippling brush from, I think it was from Faith Face. And you guys, I'm going to apply a little bit of my setting spray so that I can nicely and easily blend my foundation. So this is how I normally blend my foundation with the brush when I'm not using a beauty blender. And if your foundation, you guys, is very liquid, I'm going to repeat this again for some people that did not catch it on my previous videos. If you're applying a thin foundation, you guys, you need to stipple like this, to dab or stipple. But if your foundation is as thick as the one that I have applied right now, it's okay for you to blend your foundation with a circular motion or drag your blending brush as you apply and blend. But normally with a flat brush, I always like to stipple, not to really drag. When it comes to my forehead, I always use this particular brush simply because I can easily control the edges of it because it's rounded, it is not flat. But I'm just going to apply the entire forehead with this. And you guys, I'm going to go ahead and highlight, and by highlighting I'm using L'Oreal Paris Infallible Concealer and the shade is Honey. I'm just going to apply, even though I don't want to apply too much because I'm going to use a brush to blend my concealer. And I'm going back to the brush that I was using to blend my concealer, just going to blend the concealer under my eyes. Even though this is not my favorite type of brush to use, sometimes I do use it for my clients, but very rare on myself really. But one thing I like about it is the fact that it can get on top of your eyebrows without a struggle, unlike your beauty blender or your makeup sponge. After I've used the brush, I always take my beauty blender to go on top and just continue with the blending. Because I like to highlight my highlights, I'm going to take the Rimmel London concealer and the shade is Honey. They said it's a multitasker concealer. This is also another thick formula that I really love so much, that I find it to be brightening my under eyes so beautifully. And I'm just going to keep blending. I'm going to take this beauty blender and I'm going to press away the translucent powder and I'm just set under my eyes. And you guys, I don't like to really bake. I like to just apply a nice beautiful setting on my cheeks, not really to bake. And then you guys, I'm going back to this foundation brush that I said I'm going to show you how I use it again on the other area of my face. And I'm going to take this beauty blender or the makeup sponge, just going to ensure that I did not waste that much. And I will take this type of brush to apply and set under the eyes of my client if my clients are having a very dry skin. This is what I do. This is what I always do, only on my clients, not on myself. My skin is not that drying out, even though sometimes it changes, but it is not entirely too dry, needing all the equipment that I can recommend for people that are having a dry skin. So I'm going to take the beauty blender, set my concealer so that it does not really move, and I'm going to take the very same translucent powder from Hentley just to set my forehead as well, not forgetting my nose bridge. And the next set of brushes that I have right here, you guys, it is the contour brushes. You can use these contour brushes to apply your contour. Some people use them to apply their blush. I always use these brushes to apply my contours. And sometimes I use this as my blush brush, but I'm going to put it to the side, which I use for my blush brushes. These are angled brushes, and this brush is just nice, fluffy, and really rounded. It is also a contour brush. According to the brand, each and every brand will classify their brushes differently. And I'm going to use the Palladio Matte Bronzer, and I'm just going to start by applying my contour on my forehead. This is how I apply my contour with this particular rounded contour brush, and then I will just tilt it a bit so that I can ensure that my contour, it is not applied upward and downward. I just angled this brush like this so that it can give my face a desired contour shape. And then I'm going to use this one that is angled, and I'm just going to apply my contour. Like I said, you guys, I don't really care about the brand, which brand you're going to use. If any brand's products, any brand's tools are working for you, go ahead and buy the brand that you like, that you will find beneficial. I always like to get my makeup products when they are on sale. And this type of brush, because it's angled, you are able to apply your contour like this. And like I said, you guys, other brands said you can also use this brush to apply your blush. And right here, you guys, I have blush brushes. This one is angled blush brush or contour brush. Because it's angled, they said you can use it for blush and also for contouring, because you can be able to place your contour like this. This brush, as I was buying it, the brand was classifying it as a foundation stippling brush, but because the bristles are very fluffy and they are almost not there, only at the base here where they have a black color, there is a lot of black bristles there, but these white bristles are not enough for me to blend my foundation beautifully. I use this brush for two different things on my face. If I have the fall offs of my eyeshadows, I always sweep under my eyes and remove the fall offs, especially if I have already applied my foundation and I have done everything else and my eyeshadows becomes the last. That is what I do. But I also use it as a blush brush. Why? Because the tips and these bristles, they just take enough amount of blush. It doesn't pile a lot of blush. You are able to limit the amount of blush that you're going to apply to your face. But as per this one, you need to be careful as you apply your blush, because it can take a lot of product at once. It does take a lot of product at once, so you just be careful on the manner in which you're going to apply. And then I have these two brushes. These two brushes, they are somewhat the same, but I think the difference is just the size. This is a much smaller size than this one. This is also a blush brush, but because of their top, which is much rounded, it is also limiting for the amount of brush that is going to pile onto your cheeks. Anyway, you guys, even though I can show you many brushes and many tools that I'm having, I won't be able to use all of them on this face. I can only demonstrate with one or two, because if there are four, really, I just only have one face to fit all of that. And then, you guys, when it comes to the blush, I'm going to use the blush box, and it is from Catrice. And I'm first going to apply with this type of brush. Even if I can just keep circulating, it doesn't take too much color. And I'm just going to apply on my cheeks like that, and smile when you apply your blush. I think that is the reason why sometimes when you apply your makeup, your men will love it. And this type of brush, I need to be very careful. Like I said, you just need to be careful. It takes too much color. You don't need to apply a lot. You just need to be very light with your hand on your face. But as for this one, I know you don't always find it, but in case you have it, don't throw it away. Don't apply your foundation with. Just use it for your blush. It is applying super beautiful. Up next, we have highlighting brushes. I use them for applying my highlighter. This one is a highlighter brush, and I normally use it for my clients, and I used to use it for myself, but I always spare it for my clients because I find people with different type of faces, so I always find it handy. If you are taking clients, please get yourself one of these. But for myself, because I think I understood how my cheek structure is, so I decided I'm going to get myself this type, and it is applying and highlighting beautifully. And I'm going to go ahead and highlight. I'm going to use Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter, and the shade is Melton Bronze, and I'm going to apply and I'm going to pat. With this type of brush, I always pat. You see, it applies so beautiful. And then I'm going to take this big fan brush. I used to have a small fan brush around. This is a bigger size for the face. For the smaller fan brush, I used to use it to apply also my highlight on my cheeks, but I find it to be very harsh and to really need someone that used to applying makeup. If you are starting, if you don't have enough tools, you can use those kind, but if you have enough tools, please get yourself one of these. And normally, you guys, I will take my beauty blender just to diffuse the harsh application of each and every product that I have. So you guys, let me continue to apply my bronzer. And by the way, you guys, I'm going to contour my nose, and I'm using Palladio Matte Bronzer. I'm using an angled brush that I always reserve it for my nose contour. I don't use this brush for applying eyeshadows. I just reserved this for the nose contour. And I like to cut the nose if I feel like it's being elongated. And then, you guys, I'm going to take the Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter, and I'm just going to highlight my nose bridge. and I'm blending with my finger. And I'm then going to highlight my cupid's bow, and I'm going to highlight my eyebrow bone as well. This is one of the foundation application brush. I always use it to just highlight, and I find it to really being very precise, and I will also set my small lines. But my favorite of all time is always the makeup sponge. Makeup sponge set my small lines so beautiful. And you guys, I think finally we have reached the end of this makeup tutorial. And by the way, you guys, I have about 4 sets of face powder brushes or buffing brushes. And by the way, you guys, I think as you can see, they differ in sizes simply because of the brands. Other brands, they make this type of size, which I find it also to be nice. It will just take your powder and you just place. So beautiful. And I'm setting anyway. I'm setting using Yardley powder, and the shade is caramelized, and it's a loose powder. Or you can have this type of brush, which I always reserve it for my clients. It is nice and fluffy, and it's taking the powder. And I will also be taking a powder and just apply buff all over the face. And then I'm going to continue to apply using this other one just to apply all of my face. And I like to apply my powder on my eyebrows. Why? Because sometimes the pencil that you could be using can crease during the day and you may look very, very creasy. And I'm going to take an eyeliner. This eyeliner, it is from Maybelline. I'm just going to apply on my eyelash line. It's been a very long time, you guys, since I have applied a black eyeliner. I hardly apply a black eyeliner. I'm going to take the eyeshadow Realga and I'm going to apply under my lashes, and I'm doing the same on this other side, taking the eyeshadow Realga. And now, you guys, you know that I like to ombre my eyeshadows on my lower lashes. Just going to apply, just going to keep applying. And you guys, I'm going back to the eyeshadow Tempera and the eyeshadow Primavera, and I'm just going to apply and brighten my inner corner. So one thing that is left for the eyes is for me to apply my mascara. This is my regular mascara, Essence Flash Princess mascara. And by the way, you guys, I think what is left is for me to apply the lips, and I'm going to use the lip liner. It is from LA Girl lip liner, and the shade is Chocolate. And you guys, this is a precision lip liner. And then for my lips, I'm going to apply Essence liquid lipstick. Then the shade is Cool Mauve. And anyway, you guys, I noticed that this lipstick, it does oxidizes. I'm going to take my setting spray. It's Nivea Rose Care Hydrating Face Mist with organic rose water. But anyway, you guys, this is the final look of this makeup tutorial, and I hope you really love and enjoyed this whole video. And don't forget to subscribe if you have not yet. Do press notification button every time when I upload, you'll be notified. And this is Ogo Royalty, sign off.